Biofuels as alternative sources of energy. Biofuels are delivered by changing over natural issue into fuel for driving our general public. These biofuels are an elective fuel source to the petroleum products that we presently rely on. The biofuels umbrella incorporates under its aegis ethanol and subordinates of plants, for example, sugar stick, just as vegetable and corn oils. Nonetheless, not all ethanol items are intended to be utilized as a sort of fuel. The International Energy Agency (IEA) discloses to us that ethanol could contain up to 10% of the world's usable gas by 2025, and up to 30% by 2050. Today, the rate figure is 2%. Notwithstanding, we have far to go to refine and make monetary and common sense these biofuels that we are exploring. An examination by Oregon State University demonstrates this. We presently can't seem to create biofuels that are as energy proficient as gas produced using oil. Energy proficiency is the proportion of how much usable energy for our required objects is gotten from a specific measure of information energy. Nothing that humanity has ever utilized has gotten more energy from yield than from what the required info was. What has consistently been significant is the change. The final result energy is what is valuable for our requirements, while the information energy is only the exertion it takes to deliver the final result. The OSU study discovered corn determined ethanol to be just 20% energy effective, fuel produced using oil is 75% energy proficient. Biodiesel fuel was recorded at 69% energy productivity. Notwithstanding, the investigation turned up one sure: cellulose-determined ethanol was outlined at 85% productivity, which is considerably higher than that of the incredibly proficient atomic energy. As of late, oil fates have been down on the New York Stock Exchange, as investigators from a few unique nations are foreseeing a flood in biofuel accessibility which would counterbalance the estimation of oil, dropping raw petroleum costs on the worldwide market to $40 per barrel or something like that. The Chicago Stock Exchange has a grain prospects market which is beginning to take venture action away from the oil fates in NY, as financial specialists are certainly anticipating that better profitability should begin coming from biofuels. To be sure, it is anticipated by an agreement of investigators that biofuels will gracefully 7% of the whole world's transportation fills constantly 2030. One certain energy markets examiner has stated, development popular for diesel and gas may back off significantly, if the public authority finances firms dispersing biofuels and further pushes to advance the utilization of eco-accommodating fuel. There are a few countries which are genuinely associated with the improvement of biofuels. There is Brazil, which turns out to be the world's greatest maker of ethanols got from sugars. It creates around 3.5 billion gallons of ethanol for every year. The United States, while being the world's most prominent oil guzzler, is as of now the second biggest maker of biofuels behind Brazil. The European Union's biodiesel creation limit is presently more than 4 million British tons. 80% of the EU's biodiesel powers are gotten from rapeseed oil, soybean oil and a peripheral amount of palm oil involve the other 20%. Specialists on alternative energy. The elective energy specialists reveal to us that the progress from the oil-driven economy and society won't be a smooth one, all in all. The measure of new advances and frameworks that should be created and constructed is faltering, even as Germany accomplishes fueling 10% of the whole country using wind turbines and sun-powered exhibits, even as a great many partnerships is jumping up, helped by different governments' tax cuts and discount impetuses, to drive forward the elective energy mission. We have lain lethargic on elective energy on the amazing scale for such a long time that we currently need to scramble to play get up to speed as admittance to modest oil sneaks nearer and nearer to being a relic of past times. Specialists on elective energy additionally disclose to us that we need multilateral, worldwide endeavors working together with each other toward moving endlessly from the weighty, practically absolute, reliance on petroleum products. They are ready to turn out to be too costly, consuming them is contaminating the climate, and burrowing for them is disturbing the indigenous habitat. We have around 30 years left of sensibly modest oil and gas, and experts state that inside 20 years past that point, we would do well to be in any event 90% autonomous of them. Lamentably, right now the world is generally not going about as though this is the situation. The hunger for oil is developing, not slacking, and it is developing quicker now than it did even during the 1970s. One of the serious issues of progress, the specialists bring up, is that higher oil and gas costs animate the economy. This goes against what numerous energy alleged specialists and numerous individuals from general society accept. However, the truth of the matter is that oil and gas are found and fabricated and shipped by enormous companies who utilize large numbers of staff laborers and temporary workers, and from their colossal benefits their stocks stay worthwhile on Wall Street. Option, or green, energy needs to turn out to be more commercial center agreeable, more beneficial to financial specialists and would-be managers. Money Street doesn't care for change, so there is protection from this truly necessary financial progress. It is a direct result of this that numerous advisors are stating that we need a global, governments-maneuvered activity set up. We are informed that we can't anticipate that the new economy should spring forward for the time being, all spotless and cleaned and culminated, from the dark remains of the non-renewable energy source economy phoenix. It is most basic that the rich, large creation countries, for example, the US, Japan, Western Europe, and others be the ones to initiate the push to get off of the petroleum derivative reliance. More modest, more unfortunate countries are just never going to accomplish the degree of energy creation through coal and oil that these countries have. For when they would be prepared to, the modest admittance to the petroleum products will be gone, and they will always be unable to support their recently risen human advancements around then as we have had the option to do. The ideal opportunity for progress from dark to green is presently,